Hey everybody, and welcome back to another wonderful night of pinball. Not sure how much I'm going to be streaming tonight. It's already midnight on the East Coast here. We're going back on Rack 'em Up again. It's a great game, so we're gonna play this tonight, and then probably hop over to something else at the beginning of next week, or even tomorrow night even. Not sure if I'm going to go EM old school or if we're going to go and move up to the either Sopranos or go to Pinball 2000. But let's load some credits here onto the old machine. I'll give us 25 right there. And let's get this going. Down the drain as usual. Not sure if I like that camera that high up for my face shot cam. We're gonna have to figure out if that's the right spot for it, because I feel like I have to look up to talk. I'd rather have it more naturally down by the down by the computer monitor. Okay. Okay, let's hit the 5 and the 14. Just got the 5 to hit. Missed it that time. Oh, it tapped it, but it didn't go down. Alright, let's bounce it up here. There we go. Now I gotta hit a spinner. And the reason I have to hit a spinner is to do the lane change for me. There we go, got a spinner. So now I got a 10 shot, and we got a lane. Oh, machine just reset itself. Great. So I guess if I hit the power button, I'm not thinking. Good. I got a fair amount of stuff blinking here. I got to get the 210, the 715. So let's go get the 210 first. Oh no, let's get an 8-ball shot, which is hard to do. We seem to be doing it quite a bit. That was horrible. Alright, so we got the 11 mark by doing a rollover. Shoot it up there to get that 4. Oh, no. It's not going to be a good night for pinball, I don't think. I'm kind of tired. Ugh. Spinner's lit. Ah, miserable. Let's see what we can do here. So I get the 5, 7, so 14. Spinner's lit. Let's see what we can do here. Let's hit the 5. Oh, hit it, but it didn't knock it down. I hate when that happens. Alright, we sunk the 5. I don't have to hit that now. Gotta do the 3 and the spinner, huh? Alright, let's go up and get the 3. Just missed it. So tonight is Rack 'em Up. We're gonna switch off, do something else next week. Maybe, I think Revenge from Mars is what's currently in the Pin 2000 cabinet. So we'll probably do Revenge next, and then Star Wars. Okay. Star Wars Episode 1, that is. That 13 shot. This is actually a good one. That's going to get the 3. 14. I got 1 and 9 open. I just changed that. 13's finally gone. Got the 15. 4. Now I can get the 1, 2. See if it doesn't hit the spinner. Alright, we got the 1. Ah, down the drain. Miserable. Alright, let's see what we can do here. Definitely think that face camera needs an adjustment. Because you're looking at the top of my head this entire time. So we're going to fix that for tomorrow's stream. For those of you who don't know this game, it is really a pinball player's game. It's got a lot of great shots in it, a lot of drop targets to hit. One spinner that's in a weird spot, but you can hit it. Oh, damn, I just let that go. And it's all about the lane change. This game is all about the lane change. So you're trying to fill a rack, but you can only hit what's lit. So right now I have the 1, 9 and the 14. Almost missed it trying to slip to the 14 quick. Of course. Every time you hit a spinner, go through the 8-ball lane, or you drain a ball before you shoot. You use this flipper to change what's blinking so that you can light it for the bottom rack. But you got to be strategy-wise. See, right now I can change this. So now I can hit that 1. Oh, I don't know. I could have bumped that back in. I should have bumped that back in. Alright, so I have an opportunity to change here. Let's see what we got. That's probably our best bet right now. I don't think I'm going to get it down to roll on the 14. But I can hit the 14 shot. I'm going to go for this bank here first. Alright, lit the spinner. The spinner just gives you 10,000 points. It's not really that great of a deal. Especially in this game where you really can't get the spinner spinning. It doesn't have the motion that some of the older ones do. I have a 72 EM Gottlieb over there. Pro football, when you get that spinner going, that spinner's jamming. It's fantastic. This, not so much. Trying to bank it over here a little bit. There we go. Now all I have to do is hit the 15 and then hit a lane change. No, lane change before that. Alright, so the only shot I've got is the 1, which is down, which is good. There we go. Now, give me the lane change. Thank you. Bounce. Thank you. Alright, I got nothing. I got nothing to hit here. I need to get the 915, which means I desperately need to get a lane change so I can get something. Almost through the spinner. I gotta get through the spinner and hope that it's over. It's over. Yeah, I need to get this camera down just a little bit more. Oh, I hit 2-player. Oh well. Well, if anybody wants to come play, come on over. Anybody in chat, come on, join. I've been streaming Pin for a few weeks now, well, for a week now, and really enjoying it, having a good time. Bought a new tripod for the rig. I had most of the cameras and sound accessories and things, but yeah, the face cam needs to get dropped on a bar. I have to buy another drop bar. Did this thing get unlevel since yesterday? I don't know if I brought my. Yeah, it's definitely listing that way. It's definitely tipped. Yeah, and I just tilted, guys. I know. It's definitely not where it was yesterday. My guess is I probably bumped it when I was moving stuff around last night. I need to get those other 2 drops before I can hit the 13. Now I got the 1 and 9. Now maybe I can hit the 1 9. There we go. Now that drop's reset. Alright, we got the 3. We need the 12. Got 10-7 on the board. I want to hit up there to the 10. Just missed the 10. Outlaned again. I accidentally hit 2 players, so now I can play through 2 games at the same time. But that's okay. If you'll notice, I periodically try to hit that star target off to the side here to add extra options to my mix here. Every time you hit that spinner, should have let it drain, should have let it bounce. So yeah, this has a bounce post in it. And it has a bounce post because that's the way Gottlieb shipped it. And I believe in keeping things, if it shipped with a post, you should have a post. So this one and Royal Flush Deluxe both have posts in them. When I got this one, there was just a hole there because the operator had taken the bounce post out. So I did buy it and put it back in because it should have been there. The game was intended to have one, it should have it. I would never add one to a game that didn't come with one, though. Changes the rules, changes the whole intent. So I've got everything that's on the board here. Now I hit the spinner. someone in chat just let me know that the streaming cameras are looking good and the audio's sounding good. Just want to make sure that the new setup's working as it should and everybody can hear and see. I know I was having drop frame problems yesterday. I haven't seen a single drop frame tonight, which is great. I was having problems with the my wired Ethernet connector on this laptop, which seems unusual, but it was going out USB, and as a result, I was dropping frames left and right. Video was basically unwatchable last night. So I think I resolved that after a bunch of troubleshooting, and I think we're back in good shape again. I normally stream nighttime, Eastern time. Okay, so that cam needs to be lightened up a little bit. I can do that real quick. Everybody will just hang out for a minute. I will go in and hit the properties of this pinhead camera and brighten her up just a little bit and change the contrast a little bit by the looks of it. Might help. I'm hoping that doesn't wash it out too much. Let's take a look at that. I think that looks a little better. Let me know. Alright, where am I going, guys? I guess I'm going to try to hit the spin, right? I need to keep it out of the out lanes is what I need to do. I think this face camera needs to come down more and maybe, I don't know. I got to play with where I've positioned some of these cameras. I've got some ideas now of how to make this work better. Wow, that was lightning fast. What happens when you maintain your machines well and you keep the coils in good condition. You get balls that shoot at you at 100 miles an hour. Also, I think it helps that this game is not played much around here. Not a lot of people in the house are big hardcore pinball players, so this game less than the favorite of the friends who come over. Ugh. Sometimes this save post doesn't save you at all. Now I have the glass off for a reason. Glass is off because this machine has a small issue with it. It's a little clip that holds the ramp near the 8-ball shot in place. And that clip is broken. And so as a result, as we play, that ramp ends up moving, and then it makes it so you can't even make the shot anymore. So I have to pull the glass off so that I don't, so I can fix that. It does help with the glare a bit, but good piece of glass. I know people worry about glare and preach Invisiglass. Invisiglass is really expensive. And I'm not going to put it on a 1983 machine that's just got frosted white LEDs in it, so. Wow, that was a shitty ball. I might play for a little while, and then I might switch out the drop targets on this, because I do have brand new drops for this, and I want to put in. They're, the ones that are in here are not what originally shipped with the game, so I replaced them, and so I want what was supposed to be in here, so that's what I'm putting in. Interestingly enough, they're blue. They don't really fit with the color scheme of this game much. But they're little blue racks. And also when I got this game, the pop bumper covers, which you can see because the lights are off at the moment. We actually intentionally pulled the light bulbs out because they were throwing too much light onto the playfield for the cameras. But the pop bumper covers that were on this were also the wrong ones, so I got those corrected a while ago. Ugh. Just a little nudge. A little nudge is all it needed. I think the thing that made this game complicated was you could only do the lane change at certain times. So you're really dependent on the luck of that damn spinner giving you what you need, and then nailing down these drop targets. Like, we just lucked out because the 210s open up there. This feels like it's pitched wrong again. Like it got moved last night. But as you saw there, I just nailed the 210 because we were lucky. We were lucky that that was selected. Now, right now, I can switch this. Push it over to 1.9. I wanted to just give that a little bump. It's a hard game to do a post transfer on. When you launch a ball, you can switch it until after it goes through a lane. Once it goes through a lane, it locks it down. And then the only way you can switch it again is if you... Oh, damn it, jammed that thing. The only way you can switch lanes after that is to either hit the 8-ball shot, and then you can switch lanes again, or to run it through the spinner. And so, the first time through, pretty easy. You know, there's two of them up there that do that. Now it changed on us. We hit the 13 shot on a bank. Through the 9. This machine's definitely not pitched right. I don't think I brought my phone down that has the app on it. It's the easiest way. That 4 should have dropped just a second ago. I don't know why it didn't. Maybe we rolled over it too fast. Lane to the 15. Well, chat, we're not doing great tonight. Not having a good time. I got a 514 on my left, but I need to get the ball onto my right flipper. Right. Alright, we hit the spinner. Let's roll through the 4. We locked the 4 down. Now we got nothing here. And we lost. Oh, and I just tilted. That was definitely a tilt, because I'm trying to...
Here's your phone.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Let me see.
Yeah, it was really dark.
Okay.
Head earlier.
Let's see where we're at on this. This leg's got to go up. Or does that leg got to go down?
Wow.
I think this leg might need to go up.
Do you need help with that, or are you good?
No, I should be able to get it. Let me see.
Indy, stop.
Make sure we're... This leg needs to come down.
Indy.
I don't know if this leg can go down.
No.
Well, this is why we have pin dollies. If you're a viewer with a pinball machine, you do not have a pneumatic pin dolly. you'll see that these are the greatest things in the world. You can easily just jack this thing up. And that way I can almost dead on now. Almost. Still, that back corner there needs just a little adjustment, I think. We'll fix that, and then we'll be back on. Right on. Perfect green. There we are. That should help a little. I was feeling like something wasn't quite right. I leveled it out yesterday before we started, but did a lot to try to troubleshoot that drop frame problem. I moved pins around to run some wire. And then in turn we didn't need any of that wire, because the real problem was a USB. This doesn't feel stable though. This light needs to come up a little. Oof. Yeah, this doesn't feel stable. That feels a bit better. There we go. Let's try that. I mean, if you guys haven't played this game, this is a great old game. It's an 83. It's got the standard Gottlieb system ADA in it, which most people hate. But I want to tell you, if you put a new Rotten Dog power supply and a new system board in this, and you rebuild the driver board, these things are rock solid. Again, you know, some people are of the opinion you need to run ground cables all over the place. Some people say you just put, all you have to do is put one wire in to fix the grounding problem. My answer is there's no harm doing both. You know, you can easily put the ground wire in and throw a ground wire between the driver board and the system board. You know, double protection there. I don't think you need to run a ground wire to the soundboard, just because those never had real problems, you know, in the grand scheme of things. It was really the, between the system and the driver boards. But, you know, if you want to do the extra insurance, you can. That's up to you. This one has a new Rotten Dog system board and a new Rotten Dog power supply in it. And then I ran ground wires between those three components: the system board, the driver board, and the power supply. And as long as you have a good ground there, test it with continuity. You know, your voltage isn't going to spike. Coils are going to be good. All those weird problems that people talked about, they don't happen. I've never had a problem, knock on wood. And these games are just fun. I mean, this is a relatively inexpensive game too when you really think about it. gonna be one of those nights. They're gonna be short, miserable existence of games, I think. Gotta replace that clip. I gotta find that damn clip. I don't think the rule set on this game is all that complicated. Oh. I just think people liked 8-Ball Deluxe so much better than this. 8-Ball Deluxe came out 2 years before this, and it was a more interesting game. This is a very low-scoring game. Yeah, another old-school game again. This is a great game, Delaware, I'm telling you. Rule set's not complicated. The shots are fun. It's got a lot of skill and logic in it. Heavily dependent on the lane change, though. I mean, the lane change is everything in this game. You hit the spinner, it changes the... Ah! Could have bumped that. Could have bumped that. Come on, come on, come on. Ah, alright, it's going through 13. So you can only try to fill the rack at the bottom of the screen, and you can only go hit what's blinking. So like right now I hit that 11. Now I have nothing blinking. I now have to get a lane change. In order to get a lane change, I either have to hit the spinner, drain the ball, or hit this 8-ball shot. So I hit the 8-ball shot. Now I can do my lane change. So now I've lit 9 and 10. Now I gotta go up there. Well, and now I just lit 15, and now I just lit another one, I think. Alright. Now I just got the 10. And now I just hit that and lane changed again. So now I can go get the 9. Oh. Yeah, it's an 83 Gottlieb. It wasn't a very popular game. I think they made 1785 of them or something. My guess is this was Gottlieb's answer to 8-Ball Deluxe. Because this is an 83, and 8-Ball Deluxe came out in, what, 80, 81? I picked it up as, like, my second machine that I bought because the gameplay's fun on it. It is really a pinball player's machine. It's not a casual machine. But I had a Royal Flush Deluxe, same hardware set, so I figured if I had them, I could switch parts back and forth if I had any problems. Never really had any problems with them. Partly because I decided to replace the power supplies and the system boards. So it's got brand new Rotten Dog power supply and system board in it, and then I completely rebuilt the driver board. Which these early 80s, the System 80 Gottlieb machines always had a lot of problems with ground and all those things. So the system board in this one had problems. The system board in my other one didn't, but I replaced them both at the same time. Yeah, this should last a while. Although, you know, you really don't need to replace the original power supplies in these things because they were rock solid. Unless they got any moisture on them. Because basically their ground was basically the giant metal plate that they were attached to. And if you got any corrosion in there, you had problems there. But yeah, I played Royal Flush Deluxe the other day. I played this one the other day, moved back to it. The new pinball rig is up here and hooked up. I was playing with the cameras. Trying to get those to where I want them. think they're in a good spot, except the face cam. You guys are looking at the top of my head. I need to get it lower so you can at least see me. So who wants to look at the top of my head? You know? Yeah, I've had nothing but good luck with Rotten Dog stuff. And I think the other reason why I bought them is because it's all in one board, so pretty much all the System 80s. It's just a dip switch setting on the board to change them out. So if I did have a problem with this machine, I could steal the board out of my Royal Flush Deluxe temporarily, switch a couple dip switches, and be able to test to see if it's the board or something else. And that's the same thing with the driver boards, the same driver boards. So I figured I could bounce them back and forth if anything needed to be done. And actually, this is the machine that if you have a driver board problem on a System 80, you need to do diagnostics on the transistors. It's fantastic because you've got pretty much every circuit numbered right here. Because there's lights corresponding to everything. And so when I was having problems with a couple lights on Royal Flush, I pulled this driver board, put it in here, turned it on, and could see clearly which circuit had a problem, and then, you know, just go chase that down really quick. So really makes it easy to troubleshoot. I do have a tester for those now, like I didn't before. Oh, awesome. Thank you so much, Delaware, for the bit donation. Appreciate that. Came in the same time my phone got a text message, so I was like, what's that sound? Oh, almost lost that one. Yeah, I think next week I'm going to move the rig upstairs now that I've got it kind of situated the way I want it. I'm going to move the rig upstairs, and we're going to do the PIN 2000 cabinet. So yeah, I think we're gonna stream. I think Revenge from Mars is in it currently, and then we're gonna move it over to Star Wars Episode 1. I'm gonna do that. Monitors and LCD in that, and I'm actually gonna see if I have an older style capture card, because it is not HDMI. So hoping I can take a direct feed off of it. So last night I was having problems with the stream. I was dropping packets left and right, and found out it was because the laptop that I'm streaming on down here in the pinball room does not have an onboard Ethernet adapter, and so as a result, you know, I'm using a USB dongle. So I have the USB dongle to and it's supposed to do gigabit. But the problem is all the cameras are all coming in mostly USB as well into this laptop, and so I was having basically just overloading the USB bus's maximum transit speed, and so I was dropping packets left and right going out the Ethernet adapter. So I'm actually streaming using my house Wi-Fi now, which is just totally against everything I believe in, because, you know, if you want reliability, you don't trust things moving through the air. But much better tonight. I spent a bunch of time last night, like, what is wrong? I was thinking that maybe the Ethernet adapter was broken, trying different configurations, trying different cables, rebooting switches, because my whole house is wired with Cat 6, and so as a result, I'm instantly thinking it's a, that it's a wire problem. So, I mean, I have good Wi-Fi in the house, so even though the nearest Wi-Fi repeater is up a floor over there. Oh, come on. This still seems off to me. I'm going to, like, raise this corner just a little bit. But yeah, with Wi-Fi, this is much better tonight. My playing's not much better, but the signal's much better. And part of the problem is because, you know, over the last couple weeks, I've got all the 1080 cameras picked up and put in, so it really was overloading my USB. I am using the GoPro again as the overhead cam, and I think that's working really well. I think that shot looks nice. It's wide enough, but not too wide, and just really, I think it's pretty solid. I gotta check this with Pin Guy again because I feel like it's not right. It's so slightly off. Like I could raise. I don't know. Okay, it's barely off. So I don't know. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm the unlevel one. I know I'm not normal, but you know. So this one will be at Fantastic New England. I'm going to do the couple little things I need to do to it before I can put it in the free play room there. One of them is I think the coil over here is a little weak. So I'm going to replace that. I got to check the manual to make sure what coil is supposed to be here, because I don't trust that the last person who owned this machine has the right coil in it. Because this one, you get a great sling out of it. This one's very, very weak. So I got to clean the linkage and all of that stuff under there and replace that coil. And then there's a little, the reason I have the glass off tonight is because there's a little clip that holds a guide in right there on the 8-ball shot, this piece of metal. And there's a little clip that's broken. And I ordered a new one, and it came in eons ago, and I didn't replace it. And now I don't know where the clip is, so I now have to order a new one again. Good thing is Steve Young from Pinball Resource, he's got them, so... And he's got everything Gottlieb, so I'll get one. And then I've got some LEDs that just aren't seated in their sockets right. And that's because the LEDs that I buy are slightly bigger than an original bulb. And so as a result, they don't always go down all the way. And so there's two different ways I can fix this. This only has... Oh, damn, that was bad. You know, these here, I can either enlarge these holes or... I can't believe I just dropped a rubber down in here like that. I'll pop it out real quick. Now it's going to be a dirty rubber because I just forced it into a bunch of gunk. There we go. And so, yeah, exactly, Delaware. If Steve doesn't have it, they don't exist. So, these bulbs here, as you can see, they're just not seated down enough in these connections, and they flicker a little bit. It's bothering me, so I'll get that fixed. I should put the rubber back on before I do that, huh? I mean, when I got this machine, the plastics were filthy. This whole machine was really in bad shape, and now it's been brought back, which is fantastic. And it really is it's a fun game. It's got good shots. Has the safe post in it. Yeah, I do have some of the silicone rubbers. I don't have them on this machine, but I do have silicone flippers for both Addams Family Sopranos and Funhouse. You know, the larger flippers. These older games, I don't do it. Now, I have not put silicone rubbers all the way around on a machine yet. I don't know how much that would change the play, you know? I haven't tried it yet. Most of my machines have classic white on them. I mean, Addams Family shipped with black, so it has black. Soprano shipped with black, so it has black. I don't know what's on. Oh, got an extra ball. I actually don't remember what's on the two machines upstairs, the play fields upstairs. I think those might be black as well. So you do your slingshots in silicone too. That makes sense. I needed to get that spinner shot that I just missed. Alright, spinner time. I just missed that one too. Spinner shot. There we go. Alright, now I can get to the 1 and 9. And I outlaned, so it doesn't matter anyways. Yeah, I don't have it on any of my slingshots, but I have it on the flippers on most of the stuff that gets heavy use. I think it plays a little nicer, and quite honestly, I think they stay cleaner longer. Although that being said, I was just looking at Addams Family the other day going, man, those need to be cleaned. A lot of black on the lower flippers. Yeah, Titan rings are nice. Yeah, you know, a lot of color in it too. When I'm allowed to do things, because, you know, Megan frowns on me doing too many mods to certain machines. Ugh. Horrible. Horrible. I'm one of those nights, I think. Oh, good. Saved it. Alright, I got 10 over there. This machine's mean to me. I'll go back to Addams Family. Went over to the pub tonight, had a nice meal at the restaurant. Oh, that was bad too. Went over to the restaurant, had dinner tonight. Met up with someone from Pintastic over there. Going to be helping out with shooting some of the seminar videos. You know, I'm going to be there anyway, so that'll be fun. They're going to have I saw the whole schedule. They're going to have some deep dives. Butch from Jersey Jack will be there doing a deep dive on the new Wonka. They're going to do a deep dive on the inside of the new Stern machine. So that'll be fun as well. Yeah, you know, you say you have hardly any mods on stuff, but you own an Addams Family, and for some reason you just end up modding the thing out. But I try to do classy mods. Like, I can't believe that Addams Family, the turntable for the bookcase, didn't have decals on it, and the bookcase didn't have decals. I can't believe that Uncle Fester didn't come with it. He should have. I think lighting the scoops in that game is really important. So I did those. I did the fuses for the magnets, the color DMD, extra lighting up above the cloud thing over it. You know, some of that stuff, I feel like the game should have come with some of it, and it didn't. That being said, I did put the train and the bear on the playfield. Those really aren't needed. I mean, the bear's kind of nice. The bear rug kind of ties in nicely with the movie. And also, when you're telling people that aren't familiar with the game to shoot the bear ramp, they knew which ramp it is, you know? The train is completely unneeded. Oh, I just tilted. The train's completely unneeded. But I put that in anyways, just because I was doing the others. You definitely need to do the magnets underneath the playfield, though. I've heard, people have told me that they're overheated if you don't put the fuses in there. Where am I going? I got 5 and 14, so I gotta hit those. Let's do that. There's the 5. I did throw some other lights in Adam's Family as well. I felt like when Thing's hand comes out, felt like that box was pretty. I put decals in the box because just this bright red box in the corner seemed weird. But I felt like when it opens up and his hand starts to come out, it seemed really dark there. So I put a colored, like an orange LED there, and then the shooter lane here I felt was dark. I threw a purple LED there. Yeah. I put Cliffy's on Adam's Family as well. The playfield that I have on Adam's Family was a little bit worn, and I felt like especially the electric chair shot was almost entirely too easy because that area was getting pretty cupped. So I put Cliffy's there. I also put Cliffy's where the bear ramp drops the ball. And a lot of people don't do that, but I think it's a wise thing to do. Because it drops the ball in the same spot right there on top of the switch. And if you don't put protectors here on those lanes, those 5 lanes on that machine, it just starts to pit really, really badly. Yeah, Cliffy's are money well spent. I mean, that's just... And with the exclusion of those lane Cliffies, you know, Cliffies don't... You can take them out if you want, if someone was a complete purist, right? Well, I don't know anybody who would want to. I have to remember to shut off certain machines down here because, like, my Adam's Family, I don't know if you can hear it, but it just did its attract mode in the background. Oh. This actually isn't a bad position to be in if I can get these 2 shots over here. There we go. Oh. Dancing around the machine here. Was that ball 3? No, ball. Oh, I'm playing 2-player. So I don't know what anybody else did on a bustling Saturday night. I didn't do much tonight. You know, I ran to the restaurant, and it's this clip right there I need to get fixed. I mean, I could hack it, but I don't want to. I want to fix it right. Someone the other day was like, you know, if you just put a nail behind it, it'll be fine. And they're right. I could stick a panel nail right behind it. but I want to fix it right, so I gotta go find that clip. And the thing is tiny, so I'm not gonna find it. It's in a little plastic bag that I got from Sarah, which means it's gone. Bubble gum, yeah, bubble gum, duct tape, and washers. I did take the big show that I got on Monday out of the van today. It's made it into the garage at the moment. Wow, that was fantastic. So it's in the garage now. I did plug it in. The power supply works. You know, hit the flipper button. The machine, it's a Williams machine, so it powers up, and everything there is good. GI lights come on, so it's all good things. Now what I have to, I do hear a solenoid. It sounds like it's coming from the coin door, so it could be the coin return solenoid or one of those. It was humming, so I'll start by trying to diagnose that. It only came with 3 legs, so I have to order a set of legs. I was going to try to look through the machine first to see what other parts I needed before I ordered the legs. Did not make it down here to the basement. I really wanted to get it on a pin dolly down here. But we had to run. I only had a certain amount of help, so didn't make it to the basement. Let's throw some more credits on this. Well, I don't know how one loses a leg. It just didn't come with all 4 of them. I guess it's a tripod. Maybe it's a new type of pinball machine, you know, that you rock back and forth. The 3 legs that it did come with were spray painted as well, so they did not look good at all. So I was going to order a set anyways. But the machine was free, so beggars can't be choosers. Playfield, it's got some wear. It was obviously, you know, used and abused someplace, but it's still got good paint on it, so it can be saved. And you know, as I was saying to a friend of mine that was here, I'm like, as long as the power supply works, that's the first step. You know, if the thing powers up, at least then I can start looking at things and trying to figure out what's wrong with it. So when the power supply doesn't come up, is when I feel defeated already before you start. And the reason for that is, you know, at least I can start going through it and looking at things. Without a power supply, then I have to go figure out the power supply problem, and then to find the next problem in the chain. Having the power supply, you know, that gets you a fair way down the road. My question is, I have not read a single review on the game. I don't know if the game's any fun. I mean, it's a 1972, so it is probably a coin robber. Most of them back in that day were. Right in the middle. I should have let it bounce. Alright. I'm reading this story and I'm starting to think that this is going to be a great ending. Yeah, it's very low to the ground. Alright, you got me hooked here. 12 inches off of each leg. Well, he couldn't get it level. That was the problem, Delaware. He couldn't get it level, so you know, he just kept cutting it off. You know, he figured if, you know, haven't you heard the expression, you know, damn piece of wood's 2 inches too short. Cut it 4 times and it's still too short. Oh, see, I have to remember to just let those go. Yeah, no leg levelers, right. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. What surprises me is how many pins that I go to at like people's houses, and I just look at them and I go, you know, you end up getting a lot of machines posted on Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace, and you know, oh, I bought it for the grandkids and they never used it. And you get to their house and the thing's barely playable. Hey, Dimpled Brain, thanks for joining us. You know, and the thing's barely playable. The rubbers are shot. The coils are crap. You know, and it's like, of course your grandkids didn't like it. They couldn't do anything with it. It wasn't fun. You know, that one, he probably took the legs off so his grandkids could play it. You know, cut 12 inches off the legs. It brings it closer to the floor for them. Yeah, yes, that was bad. Said it's not good. Well, the good thing is I don't know. I'm not gonna go look it up right now. But I don't think a set of legs on Marco is that expensive. So, you know, if I'm getting a free pinball, I'll order a set of legs, and I'll probably trade them out with another machine and put an older set of legs on that one. And 'cause I don't know, I have no idea how good this machine's going to be when I'm done with it. When I'm done with it, it'll be waxed and playable with brand new rubbers and all the coils that need to be replaced. And I'll probably do a flipper rebuild on it if it needs it, and I'll probably do a flipper rebuild on it if it doesn't need it. And so, you know, the question is after that is it a player's game or not? And is it a game that my friends will like or not? And that's really the criteria that keeps a machine in my house. Is do I love it and do my friends play it? And that's why this one is on the fence with me whether I'm keeping it or not. Part of me wants to keep it because I actually really like this game. It is a good challenging game. It's simple, but it's a good challenging game, especially if you're trying to work on skills. It's got interesting shots. The coils snap like hell on it. You have the 8-ball pocket that you need. It's all about lane changing. So, you know, it really... It's different. You know, it's not the standard game. Now, that being said, the other 1983 Gottlieb I have, the Royal Flush Deluxe, that was my first machine. No, I didn't get a chance to look up stars yet. You know, my 83 Royal Flush Deluxe, it's a very simple game. Straight drop targets, you know, one pop bumper that's in a weird spot, and you know, it's a very simple game, but it was the first machine we got. It's in beautiful condition, and it's very, very easy to teach somebody. Oh, you're just shooting at those cards, you know. You're trying to knock all those things down, and so for those reasons, I don't think that machine will ever leave me. Unless I can convince Megan that we don't want it anymore. But it's not a machine that I play on a regular basis because it's just not interesting. I had an 86 Monte Carlo that I sold to a friend, and it's funny when I say 86 Monte Carlo, I think half the people in the world are probably thinking, why are you talking about cars? But, you know, I liked that game. But I really only liked the game because it had that damn roulette wheel in the middle. And my whole goal in it was to get that roulette wheel to spin, you know? And that's only part of that game. Really, the best part of that game is that 10 million ramp that's on it. And the horrible horrible MIDI soundtrack that I love so much in that game, actually. I have to say, the System 80 soundtracks from Gottlieb were pretty bad. I mean, what's this? The same vintage of that is, oh god, what's that other one? I can't think of the name of it. Is it Raven? What year was Raven made? I gotta get that 210 down so I can get the 19, which I just missed on the good flipper. Alright, now I can get the 210 down. Let's do that. Ah! It's so tempting when the glass is off to grab the ball and throw it back up there. It really is. I won't do it. You know, it's tempting. So I had color changers for the pop bumpers in here. And it just didn't fit the motif of the game, so I pulled them out and put whites back in. And we were looking at the stream that I streamed this in the other day, and it was just too bright. You couldn't even tell that the pop bumper caps had anything on them, it was so bright. So I disconnected the bolts in there. I need to slow this down. There we go. Alright, 13. 4 and a 13. I can't hit either one of them. It doesn't matter now. I get the 5 and the 14. I'll lean on me again. Yeah, Raven was 86. Yeah, the Monte Carlo is the same generation as Raven, and it's like Raven's soundtrack is the same. It's very early MIDI type soundtrack. It's weird. I kind of like this, but at least this is less campy. Hey Peppers, how are you? There's just a couple of us on tonight. Not much going on. That was a great dream ball. Looking forward to sleeping late tomorrow. Couldn't sleep late today. Had a hair appointment that I had to go to. I really wanted to get an extra hour of sleep and couldn't get up. Went to the restaurant tonight. It was super busy. Oh, you were just playing Hobbit. Were you streaming or not? I'll have to take a look if you were, because the only Hobbit I've ever played was at the place down the street from my house, and a place called Fun World, and the machine, I feel sorry for it. I'm half tempted to talk to the person who owns the place and offer to maintain the couple of her pins for her. Oh, you should start streaming, I'm telling you. This has been great. I've only been streaming for, oh god, today is, I started a week ago Thursday, so if today's Saturday, it's been less than 10 days, right? I've got more than 50, 60 followers, having great conversations, and no one's been, so far hasn't been harassing my horrible pinball like that. Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of the Hobbits that are on location are just beat up, and the problem is they are one of those Chuck E. Cheese type places with all the skee-ball lanes and you know, perfectly legal kid gambling for tickets, right? And that's what the first floor is all about. The second floor is all arcade games of different vintages. And then they have a loft over the second floor. Yeah, you're an early follower, Pepper. Okay, there we go, save that. So the second, there's like a third story where there's a loft, and they've got about 10 pinball machines up there, and you know, their two Jersey Jack machines are both numbered limited edition machines, and they don't take care of them. They just don't have the action that they should. Now, granted, I'm a little spoiled because my machines, you know, I maintain them pretty well. Yeah, and I think that's what bothered me the most is that the pop-ups of the Hobbits themselves, it just, I don't know, it just turned me off. They also have a limited edition AC/DC, and that machine needs some work as well. Now, I know that a friend of mine does maintenance on some of their equipment, and we talked about the pins, and she was like, you know, she only does there what she's asked to, and she's offered to say, hey, I can maintain the pins, and basically the woman who owns the place's attitude was, well, you know, nobody really goes up there anyways. I'm a business person. If no one really goes up there, you should just sell the damn machines, right? You either have them and they should be working, or you don't. You know, it's kind of one of these things. Yeah, the pop-ups weren't disabled. It might have been better if they were, but that was my wife's first experience with Jersey Jack, and it made her not impressed. It wasn't until we were at I tilted. Damn it. It wasn't until we were at Pintastic one year where they had it dialed in that I made her play it, that she was like, oh yeah, this is it. So I was getting worried that she was only going to like these older classic machines, you know, like Funhouse and Addams Family, because that was basically all she was gravitating towards. And as we all know, those vintage 90 machines are becoming fewer and further between. Oh, it was horrible. It's funny, my Pinside wish list keeps growing, though. And, you know, we all get our... I don't know how many of you guys... How many pins you have on your Pinside wish list, but I'm actually going to take a quick stop for a second, because I am actually curious how many pins are on my Pinside wish list. Because it's more than a few. Oh, I'm not even signed in on this computer. Damn. And I don't have LastPass loaded yet. Let me load LastPass. There we go. And so, go to my profile, and under here there should be collection and wish list. And so my wish list, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, so I got 35 on my Pinside wish list at the moment. I don't know about you guys, but, you know, they, some of those are, of course, duplicates, because I don't care if it's a Beatles Diamond, Platinum, you know, Gold Edition, whatever it is. So there's some duplicates there, but still, 35 machines. And, my generic criteria there is, I want to see them close to my area, because if I'm going to buy something from somebody, I want it to be close. I stay off the Pinside forums as well, Peppers. I don't bother. Everybody's got an opinion. Everybody knows better than everybody, and that's fine. That's not why I'm into this. I'm into this to have fun. I'm into this because I love pinball. It's a good challenge. I don't play any competitions yet, but that's probably changing this year. You know, tournament this year. Yeah, I mean, quite honestly, you'll appreciate this. The only discussion I really followed on Pinside was when that guy and Todd Tuckey were having arguments over the book contracts, and he was on there just embarrassing himself. I followed that thread because you know, if you own a business, and I've owned a few, you definitely don't air your legal dirty laundry out in public. And, you know, say what you want about Todd and his brand of humor. Oh, I thought that was going to bounce. You know, he's a nice guy, and he's respected. And my suspicion is that this guy who is, yeah, I kind of like Todd too, Peppers. That's, you know, I really like Frank, and, you know, I sent Todd and Frank emails recently saying, hey, I'm going to be as fantastic as I am every year, hoping to get some time to hang out with you guys again, and, you know, go to dinner, or, you know, or lunch, depending on the schedule, and so, you know, yeah, I like Todd, and I can't believe, you know, Todd's brand of humor is Todd's brand of humor, and if you were going into business with Todd Tuckey, you know his bathroom humor, you know his fat jokes, you know his everything, and my guess is, I'm going to say it this way, if I was the business person that made the deal with Todd for the book, part of what you're paying for is his marketing ability and his celebrity. And so you knew full well what you were getting into. And this guy wanted to say that, you know, Todd was evil for cracking, you know, for Frank cracking a joke about calling the book toilet paper. You know, bathroom humor is bathroom humor. I mean, yeah, a book written by Todd Tuckey's toilet paper. That's funny. You know? But, yeah, I mean, from what I understand now, if you go to pinballbuzz.com, the rest of the books are listed there with different authors, and they're also planning on launching a pinball game a year between now and, you know, 2022 or something. And looking at the titles of these games, I was not impressed. Jack Danger the other day I think it was Jack. It was either Jack or somebody on Buffalo Pinball. I watched both of them. Buffalo Pinball's got a great channel. I wish my community around here was as tight as they are. But let me read some of these titles to you guys, so that you can get a laugh on these. Let me see. It was. Pinballbiz.com. Let me get up here. Because some of these future pinball machines that they're coming out with, I think are going to be okay. For those of you who haven't seen these yet, let me pull this up on my bigger monitor here so I can read them while I play. Or at least stand in front of the camera while I read them. So, Punny Factory. Oh no, there's been explosion at the Punny Factory. Help Casey gather all the punny and get that factory up and running again. And then you have Sushi Mania, which is talking about a sushi chef that's gone mad and is trying to terminate the innocent sushi, help restore the kitchen to order by controlling the wasabi and mega sushi roll. I can go on to the other three. I'll just give you their names. Ninja Mania, First Class, and Canada A. These all, to me, sound like they would be great, cheap mobile games. But I don't know about pinball, right? You know, they just don't sound... Oh, I just reset this again. Damn it. Oh, that's okay. We'll just do this. They just don't sound like they're going to be great pinball machines. You know, I don't know what punny is anyways. If someone can tell me what punny is in his context. But I find it hard to believe that this guy thinks that the pinball community is going to rally against, rally with him on these new machines that he's going to manufacture. When he basically attacked a bunch of people on Pinside. And so yeah, I try to stay off of Pinside and the drama that ensues from that as well. I love that you call it the Tolkien pair, by the way, Peppers. That's nice. It's like, what do you have? Oh, I have the Tolkiens. One each assembly. Ugh. Excuse me, Tolkien, Party of Two, your table's now available. So I worked for Warner Brothers Games for a while, and there was an executive producer who was in charge of Lord of the Rings Online at the Turbine Game Studio, and he got at a company all-hands meeting, and I wish they would have recorded these all-hands meetings, and that was a good save. I can't believe I caught that shot. He basically forgot that he was going to present, and so hadn't prepared a slide deck of what was coming up the next quarter in for Lord of the Rings Online. So he decided to improvise, and what ended up happening was he ended up just standing up on stage and turning and going, "We're going to Mordor!" and just kind of kept screaming it over and over again, because that was really the goal for the next quarter. And he didn't have the outlined plan in front of him. He didn't realize he was presenting, and that was just the easy way of explaining it to everybody. And we all just sat there and loved it and screamed the entire time, because, you know, the game had been 11, 12 years in the making. It was about time we got there, right? We're going to Mordor! Actually, if you go look online, there's a big map of Lord of the Rings in my pub that's on the wall. It was painted on the wall by an artist, painstakingly, and it's gorgeous. And then she antiqued it, which made it even better, because it looks like an actual paper map on our wall. Because the wall color in that room is kind of I think it's literally called melted butter. But it's beautiful. It really does make that room. Can I just tell you again? Yeah, you know, it's always great, and I do it too. You know, I kind of improvise my, I kind of improvise my talks to the company and things. You don't want to have things too scripted, because then it seems too Geez, that was horrible. So it's too rehearsed. It's too perfected, and it doesn't seem authentic. And his was completely off the cuff, which is what made it nice. And of course, nobody in the room realized that he didn't know that it was that day that he was presenting. Like many of us who were there back when Turbine was still Turbine, he's moved on from the company as well. He was the executive producer of the. He was the executive producer of the what do you call it? The new Game of Thrones Conquest mobile game. So I mean, he moved on right after that game launched, like a lot of people do. Yeah, I think I actually have one already, Peppers, that I could send. Actually, hang on a second. Let me just do one thing, and I'll pop it on screen. I'm trying to see if I have a close-up of it. Give me 1 second. I have a picture of me and my wife standing in front. Well, yeah, I'm gonna have to find it. Oh, I do have one. Let me see if I can just paste this into chat. See if that link works. Because there is a picture of it up on Google that someone had posted. I have a couple that I had posted, but those have tables and things away. Let me know. So yeah, we had a really talented artist, and she took it and kind of aged it as well, so it did look like old parchment there on the wall, and she did a really good job. She's the same person that, if you go on Google and type in Adventure Pub, we have a room called the Wizard's Tower, which is a room for immersive D&D experiences, and also other tabletop gaming. But she painted and did all the work in that room as well. And that room is gorgeous. Had this lovely older couple. They were in their 70s that had saw us on TV this past week, lived in town, decided to come in, and I ended up chatting with them for an hour. They were just fantastic. This guy was floating around between tables like he was the mayor of the town, and just talking to people. He was so entertaining. Such a nice little guy. And his wife was adorable. So. I don't spend a lot of time down at the pub. We have a full staff, and I usually only go down when they really need me, or someone calls out, or we have a really big function or something. I used to be there every day, but those days are over, thankfully. Alright, good. Got that in. Yeah, I'm like twisting my body as I do this thing. That's the neat thing about the pub is it's different enough. And actually the real interesting that happened tonight is when I was talking to this older couple who lived there in town. There was a restaurant in this space for 20-something years, And, you know, the name is Adventure Pub. And when they heard it was a gaming pub, they didn't come in. First off, they figured it was going to be kind of standard, mediocre pub food, which it's not. And they figured it was going to be, you know, like kids, like a loud kids experience, you know, or a loud barcade. And it's neither of those. You know, it's a laid-back gaming place where you can come and play board games and D&D and all that kind of stuff. We have 500 games, you know, available. You know, and our food. I mean, we have an amazing chef. Tonight I had God, what was it? Trying to think of, I had Filipino-style crispy pork belly. I had a sous vide steak that was absolutely amazing, by the way, and Japanese-style fried chicken, which was marinated chicken thighs that he then dredges in like cornstarch and some other, and then it gets deep fried, and it was lemon peppered. It was phenomenal. I mean, my chef is fantastic, and it was very interesting. It was the first time someone had said to me that they thought we were going to have bad food because we were a gaming pub, and they figured gaming meant kids, and it was going to be burgers and you know, mozzarella sticks. So I never thought that that's what might have been interpreted by people. So that was kind of interesting. I see we got a few viewers on. We're streaming tonight. Rack 'em Up, which is a 1983 Gottlieb pinball game. It's the dreaded System 80, as some people say, but this is a pretty solid machine. It's had some work done to it by me. It's one of the 10 that I have in my current collection, which always changes. But this was the second pinball machine I ever bought, and it really is a pinball player's game. This is not a casual pins game. It's all about the lane change and strategy of having to knock down drop targets to be able to have them up for when those things are lit. So we're basically shooting at only what's blinking. So if there's nothing blinking, we're not getting any closer to the wizard mode. Classic System 80, as Pepper says. Yeah, it is. You know, I like these machines, and I'm going to tell you why I like older machines, is what I should say, and I'll tell you why I like older machines. They actually had back glass in them. There's something very artistic to me about the reverse paint on glass that we lost by getting rid of the glass and going to translights. And I just... You know, I don't want to sound like a snob or anything, but it's like when audiophiles talk about vinyl. You know, there's just something special there about that back glass that we lost. And I really like glass. I cringe every time I move it because of the back glass, but at the same time, I think it's really just it was a crucial part. And all of these early 80s machines still had painted glass in it. Albeit, not interesting artwork. I mean, you guys see the back glass in this one. I mean, let's look at these three guys playing pool, smoking stogies. I mean, it could be worse. I mean, has anybody seen the back translate from Monte Carlo? Oh! Back translate from Monte Carlo is actually two of the Gottliebs in an underground speakeasy in Chicago, gambling, and I just think it was the dumbest back glass ever. All right, maybe not the dumbest back glass ever. Let's see. Let's have a poll. We should have a poll on what the worst back glass art ever was. I'm curious what people would come up with. But we should probably do it by manufacturer because Gottlieb has some horrible back glass. Yeah, the Munsters artwork is pretty good. Here's the thing with the Munsters. I feel like they made the Munsters just because Addams Family was so popular. Hoping to get some of that former glory is what I was thinking. That being said, I have not played it yet. I need to find a local place to play it, or I need to just wait until Pintastic, because they'll have a half a dozen of them there, I'm sure. Future Spa. I don't know that one. I'll have to look that one up. I think there was another Gottlieb game, same generation, 86, 7, 8, 9, somewhere in there. College thing. It was like a beach themed thing. What the hell was the name of that? That back glass. I have to say, Gottlieb's back glass in the late 80s was pretty bad. Same thing with, what's the one with, I can't think of the name of that one either. Oh. Spring Break, yeah, Spring Break was bad back glass, and so was, another one that had like a guy with white hair and a small person on it that looked like a I don't know, he looked like an evil troll villain or something. I don't remember what the hell that one was. Yeah, Hard Body. Yeah, there was so many bad back glasses, but there were so many great ones too. And when they were great, they were just art, and when they weren't, they were just bad. But I feel like we lost it. Like, they spent more time on our back glasses. Oh, there's another free ball. They spent more time on the back glasses when it was glass. And I guess that's the way I look at it, is I feel like that artistic thing was gone. Because we used to have reverse paint on glass, and it was neat. And then we went translights, which are nothing more than half see-through posters. That being said, it's made it a lot easier for a lot of us to redo machines. I'm still thinking about what to do with my my football game that I have here, because it's a prime candidate to become a Patriots or somebody's favorite sport team machine. And the back glass on that is trash. It really is. It's so bad. I can't wait to stream that one for everybody so they can see it, because it is a fun game. And those chimes are just so fun. Chime boxes were so great. Alright, so we're searching for the 9 and the 15th on 9 and the 15. I got the 9 lit. I just have to hit it. We're going to leave it on the 9. Let it roll over here. I'm going to try to... Alright. Still just the 9. I just missed it. Should have rolled it a little more. There we go. There's the 9. Now I gotta hit the lane change and get the 15 lit, which I haven't done yet. I had the 15 lit for a second there and then it switched back. Now, okay, I just gotta leave it there. Now all we have to do is hit that 15. Ugh, it just changed again. And this is the frustrating part of this game. Oh, Cirque was a great back glass. I love Circus Voltaire. Someone was streaming Circus Voltaire earlier. It almost made me not want to come on. Because I was gonna go watch that. Don't leave; they're probably gone by now. But yeah, Cirque was such a great game. And you know, when I talk about the new manufacturers that are coming up in pinball, I'm very leery. A lot of people lost a lot of money on special ordering, pre-ordering pinball machines many years ago. You know, they've got nothing. Nothing ever got delivered. No real recourse. But I have to say, the American Pinball, I was really impressed with the new Houdini machine. I thought there was some really nice creativity in there with the straightjacket cross the flipper thing that they do in it. I think the theming was great. The pop-uppers were great. I think they did a real nice job with that. And I'm excited to see what they come out with next. You know, because it's another manufacturer on the line, and I think competition in the pinball space is going to breed some really good creativity that we haven't had in a lot of years. And you know, I'm looking forward to that. You know, I hope that, I know that businesses like Jersey Jack need to get all of our support, and they need to produce more machines a year. So I'm really hoping that they go with kind of a multi-team strategy there, so that they're able to support everything. One of my concerns is about, you know, people being able to have the support, especially for these electronics, because we're not going to be able to fix them ourselves as much anymore. The original Ball Star Trek kind of specs. Yeah, the whole pinball experience is, I mean, there's no doubt that the reason why, you know, Bally Williams and Midway Systems went and started making slot machines, because it is very much a very similar type of experience. You lose money. You put coins in and you might not get anything back. But the lights, the flashing lights, the sounds, the interaction, you know, it really is. It's good stuff. I'm still suggesting to Stern that they make a Meatloaf pinball machine. I want a Meatloaf Bat Out of Hell pinball machine. That'll make me really happy. Just as I said that, Morticia from Adam's Family just said, "Don't torture yourself." Fix that thing. Oh wow, that would be difficult. Gyroscope camera in the ball. Be awesome for streaming. Yeah, but you know, back to the Backlash thing. If you think back to Backlash, I mean, Black Hole's Backlash was amazing. Silver Ball's Backlash was amazing. I mean, even going into stuff like what's the game I'm thinking of? I almost bought one. The Pyramid on the what was the Gottlieb machine made in the late 80s, early 90s? Pyramid on the playfield. Stargate. Stargate's Backlash was really cool, and that was a Translite too. And that was after all of their horrible ones from the late 80s. have a pinball idea that I think will change the industry. I'm not going to say it on here. I have an idea that I think would be amazing. I want to talk to a manufacturer first. See how feasible it is. There we go. Alright, we filled one rack, now we have to fill another. I had a friend over last night, and I was showing him a video of Black Hole, and it blew his mind, the pitch of the playfield being opposite and reversed. And I need to pick myself up a Black Hole one of these days. They're just such a neat machine. The problem is they're becoming popular again. People are wanting them, and so as a result, you know, prices are going back up. And what made me think of that was the sound in this was very Black Hole-ish, that old style speech board, you know? Ugh, drained. Nothing lit. Now I gotta hit that spinner again. Oh, missed it. Ah. That's it? Not even a million. Not even a million, guys. Got robbed. Okay. It's almost 2 a.m. in my time zone. I know Delaware is still up at 2 a.m. Peppers, I think you're one time zone over, if I remember correctly. I don't remember exactly where everybody is, but thanks for hanging out with me up this late. Now that I've got the more portable streaming rig set up down here, and the camera's roughly positioned, I'm going to spend some time probably tomorrow looking through some boxes for the my other USB capture card to see if I can capture the output video of my PIN 2000 machine, so we wouldn't need that camera, and then I would just need a playfield camera and the face camera up there anyways. And we will probably do, I'm thinking next week, probably do 2 days of 2 days of Star Wars episode, no, well, Revenge from Mars isn't at first. We'll probably do 2 or 3 days of Revenge from Mars and then 2 or 3 days of Star Wars episode 1. I feel like those games don't get a lot of play, and because they were the last of the Bally's-Williams machines made, and finding them is getting harder and harder. And I think a lot of people were scared off by their the hardware boards that they had in them. You know, originally the original concept of those was supposed to be that you could just easily switch playfields in them. But with the with the original configuration, you had to pull a bunch of chips out, reprogram chips, and slap them back in. I have mine with a new core system, and so it's much easier. Because it's just a little Dell computer in there, and the software's doing all that work for you, and you can literally just select which one you want with the action keys. And so it takes me only a few minutes to switch out the playfields, so we'll be able to do both. My only concern there is I'm not sure exactly what the glass. This is a special type of glass in PIN 2000 so that it was reflective, and I can make sure that that's not going to cause us any All right, we were one away from completing the rack that time. Yeah, it was not a perfectly modular system yet, but they were getting close, and I think they were evolving to something pretty cool. And both the games that are in it are quality. I think the way they put the connectors together, the rail system that's on the bottom of that, which Jersey Jack is going to go with, or has gone with already. I just think some of that was just ahead of its time and is fantastic. I love my Pin 2000, and it doesn't get enough play because it's not down here with the rest of them. You know, eventually it will be, or eventually those are all going to move upstairs. I'm not sure which. I haven't figured that out yet. Alright, I got a 13 to get. That's the only thing I got lit, so... Alright, now I don't have to worry. Oh, yeah, it just spun it all the way around. But I think the modular system idea was a good idea. And it would have been nice to see the third playfield come out. It would have been nice to have an exchangeable cabinet that way. You know, they didn't have it right yet, but they were getting there. And when you think back, Neo Geo already had that in a video cabinet. That it was just, hey, we're just going to have a generic cabinet called Neo Geo, and then we're going to put some little cardboard things in pouches, and you're going to have the ability to know what the game is, and you know, different games use a different amount of memory, and so you know, you can stack these two together. I did two-player by accident. Funny, when I play this game, I feel like I should be calling my shots like I'm really playing pool. Alright, I'm going to hit the 4. You know? I gotta knock down the 5-3. Yeah, there's the 1-9. I gotta knock down the 5-3 so I can get the 6. You know? I gotta knock down the 2-10, so let's do that first. Oh, missed it. Eleven's done. So I've been streaming for about 2 hours. I started just right around midnight tonight. This will be my normal time, I think. Probably start around 11 during the week. Those of you guys just tuning in, thanks for joining us. We're playing a 1983 Gottlieb. Rack 'em up tonight. It's a great game if you're a pinball player, and really frustrating if you're not. I am by no means a professional. I don't do any tournaments or anything, but really enjoy it. This is really a good entry-level game to get into to learn shots and things, and basically strategy and logic. And it's amazing how far things have come. You know, when we look back to the early '80s machines, didn't have a lot of toys the way we do now. I mean, we had a lot of toys in Pin Snip. I mean, that's the whole thing. You know, and then there's the question of what's the best toy of all time, right? I mean, when it comes to pinball, what's everybody's favorite toy? I mean, I know a lot of people really like Sparky, and I understand that. He was a good toy. I don't really think I liked the Cannon in AC/DC much. that just stunk. That was miserable, guys. I didn't like that much. I think the phone thing in Jersey Jack, I think that's an interesting little gimmick. It fits nicely with the game. I mean, of course, I like Thing in Addams Family. I think that's, you know, if you hadn't put that in the game the way they did, I think people would have been angry. You know. Oh yeah, the castle in Medieval Madness. That's a great one. I just love Medieval Madness, anyways. I mean, I think the sounds in Medieval Madness, the character sounds in Medieval Madness, really make that game. You know. I think it really makes that game. So those of you who are watching the stream, who are relatively new to this channel, I'm playing some of the worst pinball on this machine right now, but I've been streaming pinball for a whopping week and 2 days, I think. Thanks all you guys for joining in. I'm usually streaming at this hour, pretty much 5, 6 days, 7 days a week. Yeah, the callouts in Medieval Madness are great. They really are, Peppers. I love that game. Medieval Madness is a great game. And, you know, I really like the original better than the remake. Chicago Games did a good job on the remake. I'll give them that. But I like the original better, and I feel that way about Mars Attacks as well. The original is it just feels better to me. Don't get me wrong, I like the color DMD. I like that it's new with a new play field and, you know, some of the new tech. But there's just something about the original that just really, really sits dear to my heart. And it's just a great game. Now, that being said, not all of us have... what's a Medieval Madness going for right now? 10 grand for an authentic one that's in great shape? But that's... You know, that's all of them. I mean, when we look at, you know, what's a fully restored Atom Family going for? What's a fully restored Funhouse going for? All of them, you know, they're expensive. It's just the way it is. I gotta list some more credits on this sucker. On this machine, I was smart. I took the center coin mech and made it add 10 credits so that I can bounce credits quicker. Yeah, really excited to go to Pintastic this year. Really wish I'd went to Pinfest last weekend. You know, I really wanted to go, but I didn't plan ahead, and I'm gonna try to go to White Rose in I think that's October this year, September or October. When? I don't remember when White Rose is this year, but I'm looking forward to going to that one as well. And I'll probably try to do Chicago next year. The problem is I don't really like flying to pinball conventions because inevitably I find something I want to buy, and I haven't figured out how much an airline would charge me to check the pinball machine. So. Can you imagine checking a pinball machine? You can only imagine what TSA would say to that. This thing looks like it could be a bomb. But, So, you know, I prefer driving. I have one of those Dodge Ram ProMasters, the big high top van, kind of like what American Pickers do, but the Dodge version of it, and that makes it really nice because then I can take pins to conventions and, you know, trade, sell, bring one home with me, whatever the case is. And, you know, I don't exactly pack light. I'm not the girly female who wears makeup, but I pack a lot of clothes when I travel. That's the thing. And it's nice to be able to not think about packing. So yeah, I'm excited about those shows. So the Northwest show, where is that and when is that? All right, so it's in June. Well, I'm completely booked up for June this year. I'm in Maryland the second to last week in June, and then I come back and I have Pentastic here in Massachusetts the last weekend in June. So June's pretty booked. Oh, I did not want to hit that spinner. Let's just knock some points. All right, now I have to knock that 13 down. I can reset my 7. Oh, June 1st. Tacoma, Washington. Wow. Well, I do have a friend who has a house right near SeaTac Airport. So how far is it away from SeaTac Airport? Road trip up there if I had more time. So I have a close friend who lives in Burien, which is right next to SeaTac. 25 minutes. Okay, that's not bad. I don't get to go out to see her that much, so I could go and see her and hit a pinball convention at the same time. Problem is that she works as a nurse, so it's hard to get around when I'm out there. It's always the case. Come on, I just want to hit that 715 shot there. Hard shot to hit. Can't even backhand it. Damn it. Ugh, I missed it again. Again, I'm giving up on that shot for now. Fine. Alright, well, at least it... Yeah, it's, she's in a nice little neighborhood there in Burien. It's a nice area. I went out, it's probably been 3 years now. 2 or 3 years. When she first moved into her new condo that she has there. I went out to help her get settled in and get everything painted and everything. So it's always hard to move into a new house while you're still working full-time and not taking a ton of time off. So, that was a little while ago because I did a kind of this epic trip. When I was still working for Warner Brothers, went out and went to Seattle area, went to Vegas for a conference, and then to San Francisco, and then to Chicago. So it was a lot of travel. Oh, Twin Peaks. Yeah, I remember the show Twin Peaks. That was on back in the late 90s, I think, if I remember correctly. Late 80s, early 90s, maybe. I remember Twin Peaks. Spinner now. And alright, so we got a bunch of stuff to hit now. A 2, a 4, a 15, a 13. Don't alright, well you hit the 15 while you outlaid. That was nice of you. And the main problem with this game is the lane change. You can only change it at certain times. If you could change it all the time, this game would be easy. I need to remember to drink more water. I'd probably get another half hour at least in before I want to stop. So I don't know what I'm going to stream tomorrow night, if I stream tomorrow night, but definitely going to, Monday, Tuesday, I'm probably doing Revenge from Mars on the PIN 2000, and then I'll do, Wednesday, Thursday, I'll probably do the Star Wars Episode 1. And then we'll see after that. I'm going to run out of pins soon, so I'm going to have to start finding more friends in the area that I can go raid their house in the middle of the night to use their pinball machines. We do have a restoration that we need to get done for the new big show there, so that'll be good. I've still got 2 EMs and a funhouse. Now, funhouse, like I said, the trapdoor in that's still not functioning right. I am thinking of bringing it to Pintastic, but because Todd, Tucky, and Frank are going to be doing a seminar where people can ask questions ahead of time and this and that. I'm actually going to ask them if they want to diagnose something on site if they don't get enough questions, and I'll bring my funhouse and they can look at what the problem with the trapdoor is and see if they can fix it on site. All right, Peppers, you have a good night. We'll see you soon. Thanks for joining us. It's always great chatting with you. And for everybody else at the moment, feel free to jump in and chat. I try to read chat while I'm playing. I don't mind if I drain a ball. This is just all entertainment for me. So, you know, I don't mind if you don't mind. You know, we can talk about the pins that I have in the house. We can talk about the condition of this one. Talk about the play style on these early machines. Talk about most anything. Talk about the fact that that ball should not have drained, but it did. Drives me crazy. These shoot again posts, they drive me nuts. You know, I wouldn't have it in here, but the game originally shipped with it, so the game was designed to have it. And you look at it and you think, oh, it's gonna bounce, it's gonna bounce, it's gonna bounce. It doesn't bounce. And then when you don't want it to bounce, it does. So this game is all about the lane changing. You do the lane change on the right-hand flipper, only in certain times though. So you can only do it before while you're plunging a ball before it rolls over one of the rollover lanes at the top. You can do it after you get an 8-ball shot. You can do lane changes there. And then other than that, it's up to chance on the spinner. The spinner will do the lane change for you, but you don't have any control over it. It's going to go forward a mode or backwards a mode, and how many times you hit that spinner is how many times it goes. And that's a little harder to know, because I don't really have memorized what the next set of options is to know if I should hit the lane change or not with the spinner. And I'm trying to fill the rack up here. But I can only fill with what is currently blinking. So I just hit that 2, that 1. I gotta drop that 4. I have to drop that 1 and 9. There we go. So that resets so that I can hit the 3 in a minute. And that should have dropped to that 513. I have new drop targets for this, but I haven't put them in yet. Which, I don't know, maybe I'll do that tomorrow. So I've got a... and that one bites down. And the game's over. The purpose is we're going to fill this rack up. And we've done it a couple times tonight. It's not a very triumphant wizard mode. I will say that right off the bat. It's not very interesting. But if you're a pinball player, there's some interesting shots in here. There's a lot of strategy with, you know, what drop targets to drop down at what times. Because if you know that, now's a bad time to explain this, but, you know, if I had a drop target down, sometimes you hit the remaining ones that are down, and sometimes you don't. Because it really depends if you know what's coming up next. Like that 10 is down right now. I need to reset everything to get to that 10. But is that possible before I change it? Because, alright, there you go. Now I had the 11 selected. I would have went for it then. So there is some strategy in what you shoot at what time and why. I mean, this is a 1983 game. It's a System 80. A lot of people hated these System 80 machines, but I have to say, when you do a few things to them, they become very stable games, and a lot of them were, you know, like this one, had some good strategy to them, and were real fun. I mean, this is a real fun game. For a pinball player. My wife, for instance, hates this game. She doesn't think it's fun at all. She thinks it's damn right boring. And then she watched me stream a game she does like, Royal Flush Deluxe, another 1983 game. And she was like, this was a really boring stream. And I'm like, yeah, because the game's just not fun. It's fun if you're playing it. It's horrible to watch. I love watching pinball on Twitch, by the way, everybody. I'm just going to say that. You know, it's so much more interesting than watching video games. Because this is so much harder than playing a video game. There's no pause button here. I have to drain a ball. I'm trying to read chat while I'm doing it. And I got to explain the rules. I got to talk about the history of these machines and all of that, all while I'm trying to keep the balls going. And, you know, I can't pause it. I do watch some people do live action, or not live action, but role play using Grand Theft Auto. These people are really good actors. They're really, I mean, they're actors. They're not playing a game. They're acting a part, and they do a phenomenal job. And but they can pause to talk to people and talk to their camera and those type of things. I really can't until the ball drains. And I think that's what makes this exciting and fun. And pinball's supposed to be a sport that we all get together and play. This is, you know, you went to bars, you went to pool halls, you went to, I mean, I learned how to play pinball back in the 90s at a bowling alley in Attleboro, Massachusetts. Fell in love with a couple games in particular. One of them was High Speed. The other one was the Addams Family. And I was hooked. And, you know, when I was in the military, there was at least 1 or 2 pinball machines at a bowling alley or at the enlisted club or wherever, and always was there stuffing quarters into the thing and playing them. It wasn't until about 3 years ago that I actually bought one for my house and realized, you know, how attainable these things are for a lot of us. You know, you can see down below that I don't have a ton of new machines. I have a 2005 Stern machine, Sopranos. That's the newest machine I have. Great game, good fun. I could stream that next week too. But again, it's something about these older machines. This one in particular, it's just a player's machine. It really is a nice game, nice action. That being said, I'm thinking of selling it because I've believe that we should only own things for a certain amount of time. We get our enjoyment out of them and we pass them on to the next person. And I think this machine might be time to pass this on to the next person. But at the same time, I really don't want to because I've been having a good time playing this the last couple days. So I might hold on to it. Alright, so I gotta get that 10-2 shot. And it's gotta be done from this flipper. You can't backhand from the other one. Oh, free ball. And I just drained a ball. So good, at least I get the free ball. And it didn't give it to me. Everybody just heard it click the extra ball. It did not give me the extra ball. That was lame. Why would you give me an extra ball and not give it to me? Yeah, there's that one out lane, the 513 out lane at the top of the playfield. Drives me crazy that it drops it right between the pop bumpers like that. I would have just moved one of those pop bumpers over just a little bit so you could nick it and get it in that pop bumper forest. I call it a forest, it's only 3, so it's not really a forest, it's more like a pop bumper front yard. So those of you guys watching, thanks for watching. Again, I've only been streaming for about a week now. You know, really enjoying it, and you know, I streamed video games for a while. You know, I worked for Warner Brothers Games for a bit, and had great fun there when they were doing Infinite Crisis and some of their other games that they had, and streaming was a large part of their marketing plan. I think streaming video games is great fun, but I think pinball is just so much more interesting. And I hope that more people start doing it, and I hope that you guys are enjoying it. If you are, you know, give me a follow. The heart up at the top of the screen there. Doesn't cost you anything. Just lets you know when I have a stream going on. It'll give you a notification, and that's great. No, I don't live in North Bend. Actually, I am in Nashua, New Hampshire, a little city right on the state line between Massachusetts and New Hampshire. No, I'm sorry. A little city on the state line of Massachusetts and New Hampshire, but it is New Hampshire. I guess I'm getting tired. Yeah, I grew up in Massachusetts, and I've been here, been in the New Hampshire, southern New Hampshire area, which is generally considered tax-free Massachusetts. I've been up here since 99, I guess. Yeah, 20 years. It's a beautiful area up here. Great Northeast. Yeah, New Hampshire's a great place to live. It really is. Yeah, I started streaming pinball about a week ago. Met some great people. You know, everybody's been really great. Everything from other streamers giving me advice on what gear that they use and camera placement and all of that. And I actually started streaming last week. Adam's Family. You know, I had a couple cameras, and I was like, well, I'm going to try this. I'd streamed video games before, and I thought pinball would be more interesting. So, brought a laptop down here. I had a GoPro that I figured out how to rig up to my drop ceiling in my basement here above my pinball machines. and then stole my webcam off of my PC upstairs, plugged the laptop in, and away we went. And then 2 days later, I went out and bought new cameras because I was having so much fun down here. It's really given me a reason to come down and play pin, even though there's nobody else in the house playing with me. I kind of feel like you're all just kind of playing with me, hanging out and chatting. It's kind of nice. So I'm currently gainfully unemployed, so I work in technology, director of software development teams, between positions at the moment, and I was getting kind of lonely, lacking some social interaction. So really, I started streaming just to kind of be able to chat with people and not go out and spend a lot of money. That being said, I think in the last week I've probably spent $300 on streaming gear, but we're not going to say that out loud, right? I haven't really bought that much. I bought a lighting stand tripod to position these cameras better. I bought 2 cameras, and I had already had the audio mixer, the stream deck, everything else. So it really hasn't cost me that much, but it definitely has been fun. The grand scheme of things, the pinball machines cost a lot more than the streaming gear. That being said, if you do want to support the channel, you can. You can always, if you have Amazon Prime, you can map your Amazon Prime account, and you get Twitch Prime for free, which gives you 1 free subscription a month. I think it pays me a whopping $2 if you subscribe to the channel, but every little bit helps because coils and everything cost money, and maintaining pins costs money. So, and all that money is going to go to new pins anyway. So, I don't think I'll ever be able to feed myself or make a living playing pinball. But, of course, I don't ask anybody to go buy bits or anything like that to help support the channel, but if you do have Amazon Prime and you're not using that subscription anywhere else, it's much appreciated. And, please come back and watch me anytime. And I'm usually here. I'm on the East Coast, so during the week I usually come on somewhere between 11 and 12, and I stay on until about 3 a.m. It's usually about the times that I go and play in here. Weekends I've been going on a little later, 12, 12:30. And then you get to see wonderful whiff air balls like that. Yeah, the thing about these 80s machines is they were really, really made to take quarters. These were made to make operators money. And those machines sometimes aren't much fun. But because this machine is a little challenging in that area, it makes it really fun. When I got this machine, it was beat to hell. The coin door was not wired on. They'd cut the wires off of that. The system logic board had problems. The driver board had problems. The power supply had problems. It was just problems all around. And done a lot to get it to this point. It's not, by far not the nicest machine I have, but I think all these machines deserve a little love on the streams, especially these lesser known ones. Because who knows, someone might see me playing this and go, "Wow, that really is a challenging, fun game." And when you go look at the prices, the price point will be really attainable because it was not an Addams Family or a Funhouse or a Or one of the more popular games of the time. An 8-ball deluxe even. So yeah, we're coming up on 2:30. I'm probably gonna, I don't know, I'll stream for another half hour, I guess. As long as you guys are hanging out, I'll hang out. If you want to chat and chat, questions, go ahead. We can talk about the other games I can have. We can talk about games you've played. We can talk about pinball conventions like we were earlier. There's a lot of those coming up in the area. I'm not a tournament player by any stroke of the imagination. Haven't gotten into that yet. But I have been thinking about doing a tournament this year. And I can talk through some of the strategy on this game as well. There is some good strategy here. You know, you can only change what you're able to rack during two things. One of them is when you get that 8-ball shot before you roll through a lane. And the other one is on your first shot before you roll through a lane. And so I can only pick what's blinking. So right now I have a 5, 7, and 15 down here that are blinking, and over here and up there. So those are really the only shots I can get. The only way I can change what's blinking is either by draining a ball and reshooting, and then before it goes over those changeovers I can do it, hit the 8-ball pocket shot before it goes through there again, or if I hit the spinner. Now when I hit the spinner it's just advancing. I don't get the choice, so it's not actually a lane change in the traditional sense. So right now I have the opportunity to change what's blinking. And so now I've got the 7 and 15. I can line this shot up, we can hit it. Alright, but I hit the spinner. So now we get the 5, 7, and 15. Now we get the 6 and the 1, 9. Now we're at the 5 and 7 back. So you got to plan when you're going to hit that spinner. And what, where do you want the sand ball to go, Jillian? Come on. Let's see if we can get the extra ball. Not that, no, wouldn't have mattered anyways. Alright, so we're going to go through there. I hit the spinner, reset it back up the top. We got 1 and 6 to hit. Problem with that is I got to get the 3, 11 target down on the left to reset that bank so I can get the 1 and 6. So there we go. Now we reset that. Alright. Now I got to hit the lower 3 drop targets over here. And to do that, I really need to be on the other flipper. So I got to try to either post change or do that. We lucked out there. Alright, so let's drop this back. And there we go. There's the 5. And if I can... Alright, well that was robbed. And it's weird, because when I'm streaming and doing this, I feel like I'm calling shots on pool. Just not calling pockets, huh? And as this is an 83 machine, it has the big chunky fat flippers, which a lot of people don't like. They don't play the same as a Bally's Williams machine from the 90s or the newer Stern and everybody else. And a lot of people don't like them because they are more like old electromechanics. But I think that's kind of what I like about them, is that they are a little different, a little more challenging. And it gives you just a little different game experience. And this was such an underrated game. It really was. People just didn't fall in love with it. And I think part of that is because I think it was Gottlieb's answer to Bally's 1981 or 1980 8-ball deluxe, and it wasn't an 8-ball deluxe. I mean, this is not even close to the game that 8-ball deluxe is, and so it just didn't work. But I think pin in its own right is a great pin. And And so I think next week we're going to be, I don't know what I'm going to stream tomorrow night. I might stream Sopranos. Might do a late night stream of Sopranos Sunday. And then I think I'm going to take the rig upstairs. I have a PIN 2000 cabinet with both Star Wars Episode 1 and as well as Revenge from Mars. The PIN 2000 cabinet's a really neat cabinet. If you haven't played one, you know, it's literally the last two games that Bally's Williams made. So it is the classic Bally's Williams game. The flippers, the pop bumpers, everything about it is first class. You know, the whole thing is a great gimmick, a great toy in and of itself. And quite honestly, I can't say enough good about the PIN 2000 cabinets. I really love that machine, and I love the two games in it. So we'll be playing that next week. Probably do 2 or 3 days of one of them, and then 2 or 3 days of the other. We cover the bases. The good part about that is I won't have to take the streaming rig down. It's all going to be on the same machine, so I'm going to be able to leave the streaming rig up for an entire week and get it dialed in nicely the first day. And see what we can get for high scores. This machine has a few little quirks about it. Bought some parts to fix a couple of them, but I can't find them. And so I haven't got around to doing it. One of them is this 8-ball ramp is missing a clip that holds it in place, and as a result, it flops around when the ball hits it sometimes. That's why I have the back glass off. I got some lights that need to be set better, and it needs the correct drop targets. The drop targets in this are not the correct drop targets. So I need to get the correct drop targets installed. I have them. They're under the playfield right now. Just haven't done them yet. And I might stream a maintenance stream to show, because calibrating drop targets is something everybody who owns a pin should be able to do. And it's not that hard, but it needs to happen. So, all right. So I need a. Well, I just did that. So we're going to hit the 4. I got a 2 and a 15. Let's go up to the 2. Took the easy one for the 2. The 15 is actually a hard shot. You really need to get this on this flipper and do that. Alright, so that was a good shot. I say it's hard, and then I made it look easy, right? So now we need to hit the spinner or an 8-ball shot. We'll go for the 8-ball shot first. Missed that. Hope this lands on the side. We hit the spinner. Now I've got 11 and a 6 to do. We just got the 11 by going through the lane. Now I need to hit the 6, but the 6 is down. In order to get that to reset, I have to hit the 5-13 shot over here. But I just hit the spinner, and I went. So now that I have a new ball, I have the opportunity to lane change through everything. And so what we're going to do is we're going to see where the ball is going to go. Up top here, try to steal it, miss it. Good news is it resets all your drop targets, so now all those points are available, so I can try to get those. So there's the 7. That hit the 5, but it didn't lock it down. And every time we go through that spinner, it's going to change what's blinking. We're going to try to clear that. I was trying to clear that 12. There we go, there's the 12. Alright, so I got a 1, 9, and a no, nothing now because I just went through the spinner again. And we drained again. Now the game's over. The 8-ball shot's not easy to make. It comes becomes second nature after a while, but it is not an easy shot. And I kind of hate making it this early in the game because it doesn't really help you much. Let's go up and get that 10-2 shot. There we go. There's that one. Again, I'm not a competition player by any stretch of the imagination. I'm really a casual home player. And I think part of the reason of that is I haven't been able to reliably find a league that I'm going to be able to go to. And also because up until recently, I really don't know the games as well as other people do. You know, I can make the shots and I can understand that, but a lot of the games, I don't know really the rules, and better yet, I don't know the best way to score points on them. And I don't know if other streamers, other people that do streaming as well as tournaments have the same challenges of you really don't know what you're gonna get. You know, because everywhere you go, there's different pins. You don't know which pin you're gonna get that day. You don't know. You don't know the condition of the tables. You don't know anything. In my house, I mean, I know these machines inside and out. I've taught friends how to play these, and it's not just that I know the shots, but I understand the game loop and the logic of it. And for a lot of these newer Stern machines, I don't know what's going to give me the most points on an AC/DC or an Aerosmith or a whatever the latest, greatest is. Alright, we got to play a little bit of strategy here. We're knocking a lot of stuff down, guys, but we're not really progressing because I need to do that. Alright, so I got a 6 and a 13 on this one, so we're going to knock one of those out right now. The next one is going to be the 6, which is down at the moment, so I have to hit the 5 and the 13 off of this to reset it, which is easier to do from the other flipper if you give it to me. If I can get it over here. Oh, without loading. That was a pretty good game for this. This is a very low-scoring game. These games from the early 80s were very low-scoring. You have to remember, when they put the System 80 together, they had just gone to a game that had 1 million points. They didn't have games that were high point scoring games. So, you know, getting 1 million points in this game is kind of an accomplishment. And then I make it look so horrible after a decent game with 58,000 points. I'd love to put this in a tournament and watch people get frustrated, though. It'd be great. Maybe I'll run a tournament here at my house one day and watch people get frustrated on my games. I could have saved that if I just left this flipper down and pulled that flipper up. So normally I stream with the glass on. Like I said, I'm streaming with the glass off because of that ramp that I need to fix. Again, when you hit that spinner, you don't know which you're going to get. Now I can do a lane change and do it appropriately. Although I hit it one too many times. Let's see. I need to clear that 12. Oh, that's good. Alright, so we're going to clear that 4. I got a 1, 9, and a 14. So the 14 I should hit. Oh, I just hit the spinner by accident. The 14's still selected. We're going to add a ball there. We knocked the 14 down. Now we got to get the 1 down. To get the 1, I got to get rid of the 3, 4. So you didn't need to, or I can drain it. You need to go through that lane, or. All right, let's see. Let's get it. Yeah, this is a good board. Let's do that. Right, that's that. Oh, this is a good board too. I got a 1, 9 up there that I can easily hit, and the 2 next to it. That's always a good shot. There's the 2. Let's dead this over here. Post transfer, and there we go. Now I gotta get this thing over to the spinner. There we go. Oh, and I outlaned. Oh well. Yeah, but again, a really low scoring game. Yeah, you know, it is what it is. But it's definitely fun. It's definitely a challenge. A few little bugs with the game that I need to fix. Specifically around, I want to replace those drop targets. This coil here is a little weak. And I got some LEDs that are, that ramp there needs to go, and I got some LEDs that just aren't seating right because they're just a little too big for the holes they're in. So I got to fix that too. The good thing about these early 80s machines is they were not hard to work on. They're really solid-state machines that were built like electromechanical because Gottlieb was so late to the party on solid-state machines that they still used a lot of EM stuff in it. This machine has a few more coils in it than my Royal Flush Deluxe does of the same year. My Royal Flush Deluxe, I think the whole machine has 7 coils in it. 2 for the flippers, 1 for a pop bumper, 2 for the drop target banks, and I'm thinking there's got to be like 1 more, but I think it's only got 7 in it. This one has more than that, so but not much when you really think about it. You get 2 for the flippers, 3 for the pops, 2 slingshots. Oh yeah, there's a slingshot in that too. You got 2 slingshots, 2 drop targets, banks, so that's 4, 5, 6, 7 with the pops, and then 9 total. So again, not a lot to work on, not a lot of moving pieces, you know, causing problems underneath. The main benefit is this machine is, you know, being a solid state machine with that little electronics in it. I mean, with that little amount of coils in it. It's a pretty light machine to move, which is also nice, which is probably also the other reason why I'm going to take it to Fantastic New England this year. Because it's not that heavy. I mean, when you get into some of the other EM machines, they had some weight to them. Because you had a score motor, all of the coils for the scoring system, you had a switch array. By the time you're done with it, you got some real weight from those coils, you know? Alright, so I gotta hit that 2 down to be able to reset that bank to get the 1-9 shot. And I gotta do the 1-9 shot from this flipper. Oh, I missed it. Oh, I missed it! Well, viewers, I'm out on the East Coast. I'm probably going to stream for another 20 minutes like this, maybe a little more. Again, this is my my 83 Rack 'em Up. Really fun game. If you're a pinball player, you know, lots of good shots, lots of good stuff to hit and to shoot at. Simple game loop to understand. But really was an underappreciated game. They made 1,700 and I don't know, I think it was 1765, 1785 of these, and they all went to pool halls and bars, and so they were rough shape. This one was no exception. The bottom of this playfield was filthy, needed a lot of work. But the outlaned on ball 3. Oh well. The concept was really easy for people to understand. What you're trying to do is you're trying to fill the rack down here. You're trying to do it twice. You get a lane change that changes which bulbs are blinking, and those are the ones you get. When you do hit one of these, it lights up on your rack here, it lights up everywhere else in the playfield as well. You can only make these changes after you hit the 8-ball shot, or when you, before it goes through one of those upper lanes, when you plunge the ball. This machine in particular, actually when I got it, everything was in French on it, so I'm guessing it was up in Canada someplace, because it was still 120 electric, so my guess is it was a French-Canadian machine. And it was in a bar or something up there, and, you know, it was pretty beat. It was filthy. Most of the lights were burnt out. The driver board was had all sorts of problems. The system board was causing some issues. Fixed all that up. Put a new power supply, new system board. I completely rebuilt the driver board on this. And I love this game. This was the second pin I ever bought. First one was a Royal Flush Deluxe of the same year, which was real helpful because I was able to move hardware back and forth between them to diagnose problems. And a lot of my pinball friends criticized me for going with Gottlieb System 80, but I have to say, when you if you rebuild that driver board, you make sure that it's grounded correctly. These machines just play great. I'm going to take it to Pintastic New England and maybe put it for sale, but I'm actually hoping it doesn't sell, because I've been having a great time playing this the last few days. So I'm probably going to hold on to it. Again, I'm not a tournament player, so the fact that I'm able to call some shots and do some things here is kind of nice. I've only been, you know, I played pin when I was a teenager, and, you know, bowling alleys and things, but never really was dedicated to it as much as I am nowadays. And I'm thinking of doing a couple tournaments. It'll be the first ones I've ever done. If anybody has any questions or wants to chat, I can try to chat and play at the same time. Just kind of while I'm here is to socialize a little bit, meet some new people that are into pinball as much as I am. You know, let me know if the game audio is too high or too low. Let me know if any of the screens aren't working right. And I'll try to narrate as I go along. So now the only things I can really hit are the things that are blinking. So I only have the 11 shot now, which it's going to go away in a second. So now I have to hit the spinner or an 8-ball shot to be able to change the available options here. I just got the 1 by hitting that add an extra. Alright, there we go. So now I got to get to the 3 or the 7. Oh, now it just changed again. The 10 or the 7. So we're going to try to knock down the 1, 2. 8-ball shot allows me to cycle through the lanes, but I'm actually going to leave it the way it is for the moment. Alright, we're going to go for the 2-10 shot. Right over there. Nope, missed it. Nope, hit the spinner. Now I hit the 1. Hit the 10. 10's out of the way. Got a 7 down by me. I got a 1-9 up there. So I got to get the 9. Nope, we're going to get the 3, which we did. 7. And it's done. So yeah, I've only been streaming pinball for a little over a week. I started a week ago Thursday. Thanks guys for tuning in. If you like what you see and you want to come back, please hit the favorite button up above. If you're an Amazon Prime member, you get a free subscription every month that you can use for anybody on Twitch if you link your accounts. So if you really like what you see, you can subscribe to my channel. It won't cost you anything, but it'll give me a little bit of money to help maintain some of these guys. If you guys don't actually have pins, they're surprisingly expensive to maintain after a while, because there's so many damn moving parts, right? I just hit 2-player again. I don't know how I do that. Tap that twice that way. And I'm going to tell you, if you're ever at a camp or something and you see this game, give it some love. Throw a couple quarters in it and give it a play, because if you're a pin player, it's worth it. It's not a new Stearns, it's not a new Jersey Jack, but it's a good machine. When I got this thing, it was in really rough shape. I replaced a lot of the coils, a lot of the electronics, and you can tell because these coils snap nice and powerful. All of them except this one right there. That one there is a little weak. It's horrible. And I know I need to move this camera. It's weird. I need to get it down further off to the side or something. I'm going to figure that out. It's very strange to keep looking up to talk to the camera. I should move it next to the monitor. Ugh. That just proves I'm getting tired. That was sloppy. That was sloppy, guys. So yeah, I'm north of Boston, so I'm up here on the East Coast. Oh, thank you so much for the follow there. Appreciate that. Glad you're liking what you're seeing and enjoying the show. I live up north of Boston, so I'm up here on the East Coast. I usually stream late at night after everybody else is off. Partly because I'm a night owl, and that's when I like being up and doing things, and but also partly because there's nobody else usually streaming live pinball at this hour, so I felt like it was a good time to meet new people. I'm currently gainfully unemployed. I'm a director of software and DevOps normally. Worked for numerous companies over the years, but currently looking for a new opportunity, and I was noticing that my social interaction was down. I wasn't talking to people and things, so I thought this would have been a good way to meet new people that are also into pinball. And I met a lot of great people, chatted with a lot of great people, and I'm really having some fun. That being said, I'm interviewing a lot, so I don't know how long I'm going to be able to do these late night hours once I do get the new position. I haven't been out of work that long, so oh, good save. That would have went right in now. Alright, I got a 14 shot. If I post transfer, I can probably get. I missed it. Now I got the 13, 6, and a 4. 13, 6, 15, 4. And a spinner shot. Okay, good. Ugh, come on. The geometry's off on that shot a little. Alright, let's go. There we go. That's that one. The second drop target needs an adjustment. I know that. I got the 4. Hold that there for a second. Post transfer over to here, and missed that shot all completely. Alright, 8-ball shot. That's nice. Ooh, come on. No. Alright, we're gonna do that. shots all over the board, kids. So let's hit them. So that should have went in the 8-ball shot, but that chute there is missing a clip that I need to replace. I don't remember where I put the new one that I bought. I have to order another one. One of those $8 parts you can never find when you get it in. That's what happens when you open pinball bags outside of the arcade. You never do that. Alright, it's important that I hit that 1-9 over here on the left on that drop target bank because I can't hit anything over there without it. There we go. Now, I should be able to just slap all of these off really quick. Oh! Alright, well that was ball 2. That was a good ball, actually. This is great. I need to line up my 9 shot because we're 1 away from racking this up. So all I have to do is get the 9, which is there, and then I hit the 8-ball shot. So I'm not going to hit the flippers. I'm going to hope that we do not hit the spinner. And we're going to set this shot up. And I just hit this flipper. Okay, well, we lucked out. We spun it enough that the 9 shot came back. Alright. We dropped that. And I think it's... Oh! Oh! That was ball 3. So we almost racked a rack, guys. We almost racked it up. Alright, this one... Again, we're not going to do the lane change here. We're going to let it come through. And hope we don't hit the spinner. Which we didn't. Now all I have to do is line up a couple shots. What was that one? Oh, I missed it. And then we went through the spinner, so we double missed it. That's all. Alright, we get it there. Now I want to go through the spinner. There we go. Alright, we're going to let this settle down. We'll post-transfer. And then we'll try to hit the 13 and 15. And then I'll need a 12 and a 7. Oh, grabbed it after the post-transfer too soon. Alright, there we go. We got it. Let's get it into control. And, oh, slipped. Damn it. Alright. Go around it. Post-transfer that. I keep doing that on the post-transfers on this machine. The flippers are smaller. Ugh. That was so loud. Alright. Stay away from the spinner. Stay away from that spinner. Okay. That's going to go through the spinner. Okay, here we go. Alright, we got one of them. Alright, so we gotta get that 13 so we can hit the 8-ball. Alright, there's the 13. All we have to do is get an 8-ball shot now to fill this rack up. It really doesn't matter what else we do. Nothing's gonna happen. We're just gonna search for the 8-ball. Really only one way to get that 8-ball shot, and that's... just missed it. It's off this left flipper. There's not much you can do. It says it gave me an extra ball, but it's going to lie, because it hasn't been giving me the extra balls. Alright. There we go. Well, guys, that's the first rack. Now, you still got to get a second rack, technically. Which isn't going to happen unless we have the most awesome ball that I've ever had on this game. It's a particularly hard game. It's simple rules. It's reasonably easy, straightforward logic, but the way that the lane change work really added some complexity to this game. And it was designed to make money. This wasn't designed to be a tournament game or a player's game. This was designed to make the operator money. And I am sure that the machine that I'm sitting at right now made some operator a lot of money. But as for Game in My House, I love it. I think this is a great game. I think they did a really good job with it. And I like early 80s games. So alright, like, more than $1 million on that one. Cracking $1 million on this machine is not easy, as I've said. It's 3 o'clock Eastern Time where I live. I'm probably going to call it. I don't know. As long as there's people here, I'll hang out for a while. If anybody wants to chat, please jump in the chat, say something. We can talk about games. We can talk about anything. Again, haven't been streaming for very long. Love making new friends. So if you like what you're seeing, please definitely give me a follow. If you're an Amazon Prime member and you don't subscribe to anyone else, you get a free subscription every month. So please give me a subscribe. It pays me a couple dollars and will help support some of these machines that forever need maintenance. But you know, I'm really here to socialize and hang out with people who love pinball and people who can't sleep at night. So let's see what's going to happen here. Let's just stop the pop bumper land now. So we're probably going to hit the spinner. Alright, so we got a 2, 5. Oh, damn it. I shouldn't have done that. Oh well, that's ball 1. Not a bad ball 1. We got 7 balls in the rack. Alright, so the only shot I have on the field right now is a 7, so the best thing to do is not to knock it out that way. So, for those of you just joining, we're trying to shoot for blinking lights, as usual, because it's pinball. We can change what's blinking with a lane change. The only way to get lane changes is on the first, before the first plunge, or when we hit that 8-ball shot we just hit. Now I can change it. As well as hitting the spinner. When the spinner goes, it's going to change it for us. I completely just missed that 5 twice, which stinks because I wanted to hit it. 5 still spotted though. Okay, we're gonna post transfer real quick. Grab it here and oh good, it still got the 5 done. Now we have to hit the spinner. Okay, there we go. We hit the spinner. The only shot I have is a 9 up there with the 1-9, or the lane of the 9. So we'll just go up there and get that in a second. Now I got the 8-ball, so let's give her something that has some more variety on it. I don't know. Alright, so we got the 7. I gotta fix that damn thing. It's gonna drive me crazy if I don't. I have to call Steve at Pinball Resource this week and order another one because I do not know where the old one is. Maybe I can get someone to just bring me one at Pintastic. It'd probably be cheaper than paying shipping on it. Alright, we got the 7. Gotta hit the spinner. Gotta get the spinner, and if I get the spinner, I gotta light the 9. Alright, there's the spinner. We got the 9 lit. Gotta stay away from the spinner now. Get this ball set. Ugh. And that was that. Still respectable game. Anything close to, anything over $500,000 in this game is actually a good game. Those of you just tuning in, again, Pinball Princess Jillian here, and relatively new at streaming pinball. Really loving it so far. Loving you guys in the community, and thanks for joining. Next week I'm probably going to be streaming a couple days of my Pinball 2000 cabinet that I have upstairs in my dining room. I have both Revenge from Mars and Star Wars Episode 1. We're going to do both of those next week. Thinking of streaming Sopranos tomorrow night, just for one night, and then we'll go back to it at some later point. Sopranos is a really fun game, especially in a home setting. Different rule set, different shot set, different style. It's a DMD game because it's a 2005 Stern. Really a different game than these earlier 80s machines. So I'm going to do those machines next. Then I'm going to go on kind of a small rampage of electromechanical games. I have 2 EM games at the house. Pro football and soccer, both 72 and 74 respectively. I'm going to shoot those machines for a couple days. I don't think electromechanical pins get enough love. They are the roots of pinball, and I think that we need to give them some more love. So I'm going to give them some love for a couple days. And hope that you guys enjoy that as well. Those of you guys who are tournament players, you get on this newer Stern machines, it's one thing. You get on the old EM machines, it's something completely different. And I want to give them some joy too, because a lot of people, that's how a lot of us start out. EM machines, a lot of them ended up in people's houses. Sometimes not in the greatest condition, and we revive them and bring them back to life. And I've got one of those right now that I picked up this past week. It's a 1972 Williams Big Show. Never seen the gameplay. The playfield looks pretty worn, but pretty nice at the same time. Still got paint on it. That's all that matters to me some days. That was a great save. Bounce. Oh, let it drain. I could have saved it again, guys. Could have saved it again. That was my bad. And so, we're going to do a quick restoration, functional restoration on that machine. Get that machine up and running again. And then we'll play that for a couple days too. We'll learn the rules on that. We'll play it. We'll find all the issues with that machine, and we'll order the parts and we'll iterate on it. So I'm guessing the first day we play it, we'll find a bunch of problems with it, and then we'll just kind of keep figuring out what to do and until we fix it. So third ball once again, one ball away from hitting the rack. I just got to hit the spinner until the 13 ball comes up, blinking, and then I can either drop that or roll that. I'm in a really good position for that right now. I just got to keep hitting the spinner, or I got to hit an 8-ball shot. I probably should have just went for the 8-ball shot. There's my spinner again. Still no 13 lit. Let's try to spin it again. Spun again. Hey, there's my 13. Didn't go through it on the rollover. I got a drop target here I can hit. If I can get back to this flipper to... Oh. Alright, hit that. There's my 13. Alright, so let's... Oh. Alright, we're in there. Now all we have to do is hit the 8-ball shot, and there it is. So that is Rack 'em Up in a nutshell. And we've racked up racks a couple times tonight. I think that might have been 4 or 5, which is pretty good. But we did not get the second rack, which is what we're working on right now, on any of these games. I got one ball left and I just drained it. So, not a high-scoring game once again. I filled a rack and still didn't break a million. I'm gonna put some more credits on the machine. I'm gonna play for 20 more minutes, I guess. And I'm gonna say in 20 minutes we're gonna play for 20 more minutes. Someone want to jump in chat and bring up some topics, pinball or what have you? If not, I'll just sit here and talk to myself because I'll assume no one's listening. So. But I worked at WB Games in the video games, running back ends for video games for many years, and loved it. And I think what I loved about it was the culture in video games is very similar to the pinball culture, you know, and a lot of interesting people, a lot of passionate people about games. You know, maybe someday I'll get a job, you know, at a pinball company, you know, doing pinball software. My retirement plan, I don't know. Oh, that was horrible. If I keep playing this way, no one will ever hire me, right? Alright, I have to hit a spinner. I have to hit a spinner and 8-ball. I missed the spinner that way. Yeah, if people are watching and you want to just, you know, if there's any feedback you have about camera placement, lighting, sound, if there's anything like that, please let me know. I'm really trying to do the best production value I can. Trying to play the best I can too, but sometimes calls like that are just inevitable, I guess. I'm trying to explain the game, especially because this is a lesser known game than some of the others. I know that the play field has drifted a little bit since I've been playing. We got a little bit more of a border on this side than we had when I started tonight, but that's just the nature of nudging a machine a little bit. It happens. Moving the overhead camera, the face camera, because it's I have to look up. I really want it like here at back glass level so that you see me as I'm playing. So I'm gonna play with that a little bit, hopefully tonight, tomorrow. I don't know. Again, I've only been doing this for a week, so you know, getting all the pieces together and figuring it all out. And it's been a little slow. It's not streaming a video game. Streaming video games is actually relatively easy. I've done that tons of times before. You share your application or your screen, and you're good. And you go into Stream Deck or OBS rather, and you know, configure what your face camera is and when you want to turn that off and on, and you're done. Oh, just outlaying again, kids. My feet are getting tired. Someone needs to remind me that the next house needs to have better carpet padding in the basement pinball room. Better yet, the next house, the pinball room will be on the first floor. Again, as you can see by the schedule below, I'm a late night streamer, so I'm here for you guys to watch in the early hours of the morning. I usually start around 11 or 12, 12 on weekends, 11 during the week, and I usually, well, this week I had a couple days I played through till 5:30 in the morning, but normally I try to get off around between 3 and 4. Tonight I think it'll probably be 3:30. You know, it all kind of just depends on how many people are on chatting and how bad I'm playing. I didn't bring down enough bottled waters with me tonight, so I'm going to have to break earlier than normal because my soda runneth empty. As I said, I worked in video games. I also part owner of a board game gastropub in Massachusetts, in Arlington, Massachusetts, right on Massachusetts Avenue. It's called Adventure Pub. We've got 550 board games, and we're adding more regularly. Great food, great place. So I was there a little bit tonight. Saturday nights tend to be busy, so I kind of stop in. Had this adorable couple in tonight. They were in their 80s, and they were just having a great time. And it was interesting because they were saying that they live in town, and they'd heard about us when we opened. But it wasn't until recently when we were on a news article, a news program called Chronicle, that they really realized what we were all about. And that's kind of interesting to me, because I thought our model was pretty self-explanatory, but they literally thought it was more for kids than for adults. And I thought that was interesting. They were expecting cheap pub food and, burgers and things like that, and our menu's far from that. I grabbed a root beer off the soda gun before I left, and I nursed that down here for about an hour, and I did not bring water down with me, which I should have. Eventually I'll get another soda gun or something down here so I can just run over. I like drinking sparkling water. I am getting tired tonight. And those of you who have joined me before, thanks for coming back. And those of you new followers, I'm Pinball Princess Jillian. I'm glad you came. Oh, come on, it didn't bounce. That was supposed to bounce. Alright. I'm doing horrible now. I'm sitting down. My feet are getting tired. I need to sit down. Yeah, and if you want to chat, most people who are on a pinball stream at this hour are really interested in pinball. So if there's anybody who wants to talk about any particular games, some of the new stuff that I haven't played yet, I'm going to be at Pintastic New England in Massachusetts the last weekend in June. It's the 27, 28, 29, 30. Great roller presenter is going to be there, but Jersey Jack's doing a great deep dive into the Willy Wonka pin. Of course, Stern's doing a deep dive into their new pin. I'm going to help volunteering at the convention this year to help record some of those so we can put them on YouTube. We're really hoping to have some great seminars. There's a seminar on podcasters that's going to take place that we're kind of excited about. And I'm hoping that next year we'll be able to stream live from there because we'll be in a new hotel that actually has internet that's worth a damn. And so we're really kind of excited about that as well. And tonight we're playing Gottlieb's Rack 'em Up, which is a 1983 System 80A boards set. It's been partially restored. It's been restored to Jillian standards, which is it's nothing cosmetic. I don't do cosmetic things because I am not an artist, painter. I don't touch up. I can't match 2 colors to save my life. So the exterior of this case is rough. The playfield is what it is. It's what it's going to be. But electronically, it's got new power supply, new Rotten Dog system board, and a fully rebuilt driver board that I rebuilt. So we're not having any problems with flashing lights not working or game logic problems or anything like that. It's not the new Stern. It's definitely not the New Jersey Jack, but pinball's pinball. It's fun. And as you can see from the profile underneath, I have a lot of pins. One of those pinball people that, once you bought one, you had to have 6, right? I literally started streaming last week with Adam's family with with 2 cameras, one GoPro and one 720p webcam. So I'm really having fun with this, and got a lot of great people over the country so far. Oh, all right. Let's stand up. We'll do another game. Yep, you know I'm getting tired when the games hit that bad, huh? So, viewers, we're gonna give it this game and maybe one other, and unless something spectacular happens here, we're going to be done for the night. Again, thanks everybody for joining in tonight. Again, if you enjoy the feed, please make sure that you follow me. Like I said, I play late nights during the week and weekends. I'm really going to try to keep that going for as long as I can. If you are an Amazon Prime member and you're not using your Twitch subscription, monthly Twitch subscription, and you like what you're seeing, please definitely give me the subscribe. I really appreciate those. They don't pay much, but every little bit helps when you're maintaining pinball machines and buying streaming gear. But I know that if there was a pinball cable network, I'd be watching it. So I feel like that's what some of us are really trying to strive for by scheduling ourselves in these ridiculous hours every day. Is try to make sure there's always pinball on Twitch for all. And I think that's kind of cool. I have to say, for those other streamers out there who are streaming pinball, who are dropping in and seeing what's going on, keep up the good work. I love what you guys are doing too. People are doing maintenance streams. People are doing everything. And, the more exposure we get for pinball, the more great games will get made, and more people will play with us. So. Ooh, good. Bounce out. We gotta either hit this 15 shot or hit a spinner. Well, we hit the 15 shot as we drained. That was great. All right, we're gonna give it one more. This is the last one for the night, and then we're gonna call it. casual pinball player and not a tournament person, I'm gonna tell you, don't be intimidated by the tournament people at all. Some of the nicest people. Everybody's super friendly. And I'll say this: you should definitely attend a local pinball show. They're all over the country. Pretty much every state has, or every region has one, and they are fantastic. You meet some of the greatest people. You play some of the greatest games. People have pinball collections worth just as much as their house, and they bring them there for all of us to play with. And so make sure you respect those games when you're there. If a ball is stuck, don't try to pick the machine up and throw it across the room. Really just call the attendant. They'll come over and they'll unstick the ball for you. And they usually come over and take care of it. The conventions do a great job, and I want to encourage those people that are bringing their prized machines to these conventions to keep bringing them. So let's treat them right. Same thing for any bar you find a game in. All right, I lied. We're gonna do one more. It's not 3:30 yet. I'll stop at 3:30. How long have I been streaming? Yeah, I've been streaming almost 3.5 hours. We'll stop at 3:30. To see machines in pubs and bars and things. There's a lot of local barcades that are opening up. They're not making any more of the antique console machines. A lot of these older pinball machines from the 90s that were the classic, your Medieval Madness, your Addams Family, they're not making these anymore. So you have to treat them with care and enjoy them, because at some point they'll be gone in private collections and not available. Machines like this, you know. I wonder how many of these got junked. There's 1,700 of these made. I wonder how many of them are still around. I've never seen another one. Alright, that's it. Alright, no it's not. I'll play one more. That last one went too fast. Good games on this in the last 3 hours. Did get the first rack filled, I think 5 times. Really had some great shots. I think again, I'm not a tournament player, so I'm not the type that calls shots and all of that kind of stuff. And so we did I think I did a fair amount of narration through part of it, explaining the gameplay and explaining why I was hitting what shots and what I was aiming for, and we were getting them. Really had a good couple hours there, playing this great old game. It is an 83, it's solid state, but it's an 83 Gottlieb, so it's very much an old school electromechanical feel, which I do enjoy. But it is different than the modern stuff, and has the bigger, chunkier flippers that most machines don't have anymore. So it's definitely a different play style and different experience. This thing's got some really powerful coils in it. This ball with these pop bumpers, it beats them up. Gotta get that 10 shot. Well, there's 10 2 shot of a 15 now. let's go for the 10-2 up on the left. No, I missed it. I got the 15 on a bounce by luck. Let's get that. Oh, I missed it. Damn it. Alright, well, now I got the 10. Now all I have to do is hit the 2 over there. I missed it again. Damn. Alright, well, I lit another one, so maybe I can get the 1 and 2 together. So again, I gotta let it go down further down the flipper, I guess. Alright, there's the 2. These shots reliably earlier, it just goes to prove how tired I am. Ugh. Thought I could pop that one out, kids. Thought I could pop that. Alright, that's it. I'm going to call it a night. I said I was going to call it a night like three games ago. Again, Pinball Princess Jillian, thanks for the follows. Thanks for the subscribes. Really appreciate it. Again, I've only been streaming for a little while. You guys are a great community. You know, got over 50 followers in my first week, which is fantastic. I think the pinball community is fantastic, and you guys are great for tuning in and watching. If you want to continue watching, please, if you're not using your free subscription, please use it. Really appreciate it. Helps me maintain the machines and keep buying better gear, more microphones, more cameras, more everything to do this. Really hoping to sell a few machines at one of my next pinball conventions, so I can trade them out for some other ones, and get us some new material here as well as maybe take the rig on location to some places and play some machines elsewhere. Again, thanks so much for tuning in. It's about 3:30 my time, so it's my time to go to bed, and I need to get a drink of water. So. Again, thank you all so much for tuning in and for all your support, and we will see you next stream.